Welcome to Iraqi dinar market, where speculation ends and real macroeconomic analysis begins. If you truly want to understand where Iraq's economy is heading, this breakdown is for you. Today, we are cutting through social media noise, exaggerated exchange rate rumors, and emotionally driven narratives. Instead, we are focusing strictly on structural reforms, institutional data, and verifiable economic signals shaping Iraq's monetary future. The global financial system is more interconnected than ever. Emerging economies cannot be analyzed through headlines alone. They must be evaluated through macroeconomic fundamentals. Iraq is currently undergoing one of the most complex institutional transitions in modern economic history. This is not a simple currency story. It is a comprehensive restructuring of financial architecture, governance standards, and international integration. Many long-term observers feel fatigue, and that reaction is understandable. Conflicting reports, repeated predictions, and premature declarations of imminent change can overwhelm even seasoned analysts. But sovereign financial reform is never a sprint. It is a prolonged structural marathon. Iraq is simultaneously navigating political negotiations, regional security pressures, oil market volatility, diplomatic balancing, and monetary modernization. Predicting exact timing within such a multi-layered transformation is unrealistic. Serious macroeconomic analysts openly acknowledge that precise timelines are impossible. That admission is not weakness, it is professional integrity. Governments operate with confidential data, internal liquidity models, and classified diplomatic communications that the public simply cannot access. Without that information, any exact prediction is speculation. Beneath the daily political headlines, however, something far more important is unfolding: structural reform. Iraq's push toward deeper integration into the global economic system, particularly its efforts to meet World Trade Organization standards, represents a massive shift from an oil-dependent, cash-heavy system toward a diversified and transparent market economy. WTO-level compliance requires legal modernization, anti-money laundering enforcement, digital banking infrastructure, transparent fiscal reporting, and a stable monetary framework. These are not optional adjustments. They are mandatory prerequisites for full participation in international trade. Iraq has been steadily building digital payment systems, expanding electronic salary disbursement for public employees, and reducing reliance on physical cash. All critical steps for transparency and international confidence. Inflation management remains another core pillar. The central banking framework must maintain control over liquidity, foreign currency reserves, and exchange market mechanisms to ensure price stability. Predictable inflation is essential for long-term contracts, foreign direct investment, and cross-border trade. External validation also matters. In February 2026, Standard & Poor's affirmed Iraq's sovereign rating at BB with a stable outlook. While BB remains below investment grade, the stable outlook is highly significant. It indicates that, despite regional instability and historical challenges, Iraq's fiscal management is viewed as steady over the medium term. Credit ratings influence bond markets, institutional investors, and sovereign borrowing capacity. They are data-driven evaluations, not emotional opinions. At the center of monetary policy stands the Central Bank of Iraq. The CBI legally possesses authority to adjust monetary tools, including interest rates, reserve management, and exchange mechanisms, based on internal economic indicators. However, major structural changes are never executed in isolation. Central banks coordinate with international financial institutions, correspondent banks, and regulatory bodies to ensure systemic stability. Rumors occasionally circulate regarding U.S. banks preparing for large-scale currency exchange activity. While logistical preparation is normal within global finance, no official public exchange framework has been confirmed. Major policy shifts require documented procedures, regulatory approval, and formal announcements. Without those, such claims remain speculative. Geopolitics adds another layer of complexity. Iraq's economic trajectory cannot be separated from regional power dynamics. Political stability, sovereign decision-making, and alignment with international regulatory standards directly affect investor confidence. Global financial systems, particularly dollar-based systems, require strict compliance with sanctions laws and anti-money laundering regulations. Sustainable monetary reform depends on institutional credibility and international trust. It is crucial to understand that currency reform is not a sudden isolated event. A sovereign exchange rate adjustment, if it occurs, is typically the FUA